Hello friends, so I welcome you all to lecture 5 of Sociology Uncomplicated series. We will discuss a very important method, that is data collection methods. Now, first of all, what is data? In sociology, if you are receiving a phone call and you receive it nowadays, a lot of spam calls, so-called, what they are aiming for? They are aiming for collecting your data, your income level, your in terms of your choices, consumer choices, what you like, what you don't like, all of this. And this is what happens in sociological research as well. They want to know about individual facts, observations, what your ideas, what your ideologies are, what is your political leaning are, what you think about opposite gender. So all of this is collected through sociological research. And what we are collecting, if we are collecting age, we are collecting your statistical information about your height, your weight, your ideology, etc. That is nothing but data. Even the census officer who comes to your home and asks a basic informations, they are also collecting data only. And this is a very simple telephonic surveys that you all must have seen in your life. Is a very good example of collecting data. Now there are primarily two types of data. Okay. So one is called as primary data and second is called as secondary data sources. So primary is the one which you are going and collecting. You are collecting. You are not relying on some data which has been collected by someone else, which is already there in the books, which is already there in different media reports, which are there in the newspaper, which are there in the internet, which are there in the lot of articles, journals, etc. So you are doing research, you are either going and doing telephonic survey or conducting interviews or distributing some questionnaires, or you are trying to collect some photographs. That is primary data sources. Okay. And what you are doing is you are collecting primary data. When you are relying on, like Durkheim relied on police station data for the suicide. So that is a secondary data source. And in secondary data source, there are a lot of problems. A problem will be that data will be old, inconsistency can be there since you have not collected. Like when Durkheim took the data from the police station, there are so many people who are not reporting the suicide. So there will be inclusion exclusion error. That is the problem in the secondary data source. Then you will ask, sir, why people are still having secondary data source? See, if you want to conduct interviews of 1,000 females, do you need resources? You need trained people. If you want to conduct a questionnaire as well, you need money. Okay, you need trained people. But in secondary data source, you have all the information, everything, and people who do not have that much of resource or time as well, time constraint as well, they rely on the secondary data sources as well. However, precautions that we should keep while using the secondary data is the first one, adequacy. So data from secondary sources, as given in the example of Durkheim, may not always be adequate. It may belong to a different time period, okay, 50 years old data, partially fulfilling the requirement of your study. So data adequacy should be confirmed. Okay, is it relevant to my study? Is it relevant to my time period of study? If I am studying about Generation Z and data that I have collected is of Boomer generation, say for example, so it will not suffice. Reliability. So reliability must be assessed. Can we rely on the data? And it can be about sample size. Sample size means you want to make the study, or you want to conduct a study about caste system, and you are just conducting research on 50 people, 100 people. That's a very inadequate sample size. And your sample should be also something which is representative. Like we have so many different caste, different genders. So it should represent the different caste, different gender as well. And the degree of biasness that is present in the original data collection should be known to you. And the data that you are collecting, is it suitable for your method or not? If you want to have a comparative analysis between two societies, the data is in tabular format or not, can you use it for the comparison or not? So suitability also is something which you need to consider before using the secondary data sources. Now, primarily there are two methods of data collection, and which we had touched upon briefly in the previous class as well. The first is the quantitative data collection and second is qualitative data collection. Quantitative, in which I want to understand your emotions. I want to understand your ideology. I want to understand your Qualitative means these. Quantitative means, yes, I am just trying to observe things which are superficial. Qualitative means I am trying to understand your emotions. I am trying to understand your inner thinking, your suffering. So if I am going to a Dalit house and I'm trying to understand the pain they suffer, that will be qualitative data collection. Quantitative will be if I'm just going and enumerating, okay, in how many Dalit houses there are fans, there are uh, basic amenities. That will be just quantitative data collection. I'm just collecting something which I can observe, empirically quantify. Okay, so this we had touched upon. Quantitative means which I can quantify, something which I can observe, like weight, height, literacy, all of this, total fertility rate. Quantitative, hidden things. Okay, now types of quantitative data. So again, here also you can have primary data or secondary data, which we had studied before. Now let's see what are the tools of quantitative primary data collection that is important for our examination. So the very easy method or the frequently used method is questionnaire. You must have seen up when you are visiting a market or something, and there will be people giving you pamphlets or maybe asking you to tick some things or ask you some closed-ended questions. It can be open-ended as well. It can be closed-ended as well. Closed-ended means options will be there, A, B. Okay, you have to choose out of two, and it is very easy to quantify. And open-ended can be one word answer. That is the most simplest method, and it is very popular. However, if your question quality is bad, if your question quality is not designed in a good manner, the entire purpose of using this method will fail. So it will depend, the efficacy will depend on who the information is being collected from. You are collecting from representative people or not. You are asking about the women condition and you are asking from, say, for example, women who are wealthy. You are not asking from women who are who belong to Dalit community, who belong to poor quantile of income. You are not asking questions from the people who are suffering. You are not asking the correct facts and figures, and the person who is conducting is not well trained. So it will depend, the entire process will depend on all these three things. Now in terms of the different types of questionnaires, so we have two. One is structured, where close ended, yes, no, true, false. Okay, and we can also have open ended responses. Unstructured is that you are not having any structure in advance. You are going, you are trying to conduct a sort of interview, and then you are connecting. That is called as unstructured, or on the go you are asking things. Methods, how you can administer these questionnaires. You can conduct personal interview with people. You can mail the questionnaire to people, and but mail, the drawback is that respondent may not take it seriously. Many a times you are not seeing the mail properly. Answers may be inaccurate. Personal interview, the accuracy will be more, but it is extremely expensive. Then we have emails. Okay, emails and mail is similarly, see, you can either post or you can have electronic mails. Both have the same issues. See, email is convenient. However, you cannot mail to 5,000, 2,000 people, okay, at once. It is convenient, it is affordable. Okay, there are limitations. You can also post the questionnaire, but that will be costlier compared to your email. Now, what are the qualities of good question? It must be simple to understand. The respondent is not able to understand your question, then how he or she will be answering the same. It should not be too lengthy, it should be short. It should be straight, coming to the point. If I am asking about, okay, in your house, if there is a toilet or not, I should not ask, okay, are you going outside? Are you going inside the home? What is your toilet's color and this and that? I have to ask the straightforward question. I should not hover around. Then it must begin with a covering letter explaining the purpose and the institution. I am coming from the government of India. My purpose is this. The number of questions should not be too much, and technical jargon should not be used. Otherwise, they will not simply be interested. And avoid controversial questions, avoid touching upon religion, avoid touching upon emotional things. And the question should be logically arranged. Okay. It should not be illogically arranged. If you are asking about the family, then all the questions should be related to family. And then you can come to other aspects. And you can pre-test among your 2-3 friends and then now take feedbacks from them before launching it for the larger people. Then we have physical form of questionnaire. Okay, so physical form of questionnaire. Size, that depends on the scope of study. What can be the uh, scope? If the scope of the study requires the larger size, it will have that. Okay. The quality of paper and all. If you are sending it physically, the quality of paper will also matter. The cover letter will also matter. Now, what are the advantages of questionnaire? It is less expensive. You can conduct it at a mass level. It is less time consuming. Now, respondents are more free to give their opinion in such methods. And once you have made a standardized questionnaire, information collected becomes uniform. That's the advantage. Disadvantage is there is no personal contact. You are just asking robotically, mechanically any question. You cannot understand the pain, emotions, and suffering of others. And you cannot observe cultural aspects as well in depth. Then response may be incomplete, vague. You are not able to understand the hidden meaning. Like if they are asking you, okay, are you a feminist or not? They said no. Now you are not asking why. So what is their perspective about feminism? You are not going deep into it. Information may be manipulated as well. Manipulation is very, very easy. Then we have surveys conducted a lot, quantitative survey methods. In that sampling we will discuss in greater detail in the upcoming classes. Sampling just means that if I have to conduct, say for example, National Family Health Survey, so I cannot go door to door of 150 crore people. So I will select sample. Sample means out of 120 crore, I will select maybe 50 lakh people. And I will, if I want to have a good data, I will make it representative. I will attach some quota. Okay, out of 50 lakh, 5 lakh will be from Dalit communities, 5 lakh will be from minority community, 5 lakh will be from the poor quantile of income level, 5 lakh will be from women or something like this. So that it is representative. Okay. One can be a random. The randomization means there is equal chance. It's like a lottery. You are just moving from your home towards school, and anybody you are meeting became your sample. Stratification means you have criteria. Criteria like I told you, gender, caste, sex, creed, language, anything. Okay. So you can decide a sample and then you can conduct a survey. You can conduct through questionnaire as well. Questionnaire is also part of conducting surveys only. You can mail it. You can now collect or meet 50 people and then ask them in group. You can drop some kind of a letter in the household, different households. However, there are difficulties. You may encounter difficulty in terms of selecting the type of survey, which population to select, language, geographic spread of respondents, how to make it representative. It's a very, very difficult. What type I have to select? If I am, say, for example, giving a letter, now my population is not that much illiterate. My purpose is to analyze the situation of women living in village area, rural areas, or slums. So I have to select appropriate method. Language should be also appropriate. If I'm trying to conduct a rural research in Karnataka. So it should be in Kannada language. It cannot be in English, it cannot be in Hindi, it cannot be in any other language. It should be in Kannada. Okay. And then geographic spread of respondents as well, where they are residing. That is also very important. Are they living in clusters? Are they living in different areas? Then survey instrument issues. So the clarity, as I told you, the length of questions, everything which we discussed in questionnaire, it is very important here. Biases. Are you trying to attach your biases, your values? Then administrative issues, your cost, mode of like digital. So are everyone using mail? No, there can be so many constraints as well. Then in terms of qualitative data collection methods, you can see these two people are conducting podcast. Podcast is a very popular method nowadays to know about your ideology or philosophy in great detail. You are discussing with someone in 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Now the hidden things will come out. They can't fake it for 2 hours, 3 hours. Something will come out. And that's why you see that after podcast, there are controversy. This popular celebrity said this popular politician said this. Because they are talking for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. So your hidden beliefs, your hidden assumptions, your hidden philosophies will also come out. And that's why you can understand the emotions, you can understand the ideologies, you can understand the pain, you can be empathetic, you can keep yourself in their shoes. Okay. No, the first method is projective techniques. Okay, that is indirect, unstructured methods. Like respond with a word to each given word. I am giving you women. What you will say? Are they empowered? Are they not having more talent? What is inside your mind? I can guess that. I can give you one word and what you are thinking. That is word association test or completion test. I am giving you sentences, you have to complete it. Or construction technique. Create a story. I will give you a picture, you create a story. Or I am talking about some situations or some people and you have to express about them. I am talking about any particular country, any particular religion, any particular philosophy. That is called as projective technique. That helps to understand your motives, your beliefs, and your urges. Then observation methods. Now it also depend on the type, the degree of observer participation. Nowadays, you see in the news debates, the degree of participation is huge. They are participating, they are giving their own ideology, their own verdicts. But in real sense, the news debate should be non-participant observations. A news anchor should just try to modulate instead of making everyone shut their mouth and then speaking loudly about their own opinion. So non-participant observation means observer is neither participating nor intervening. Like you are going in the football field and you are seeing how tribals living in Meghalaya are playing football. Then there is a participant observation. So observers are joining the group. You are playing football with them. You are going in a tribal area, you're living how they are living. Like Andre Bhate, when he conducted a study, he went to the village, he became part of them, he became like them, and then try to understand. But it is a very time taking exercise. Okay. However, the limitation is it can be confined to one particular group only, and rare or private behaviors are difficult to observe unless you are giving a lot of time. Participant observation mein to there is a bit of chance. Non-participant mein to there is a very great difficulty that you will be able to go into that level. In case studies, so it is a systematic way of examining events. You are collecting data, then you are analyzing information, and then you are making a report. Like if you are doing PhD, etc., then you do all these things. You write thesis, etc. So it's a very systematic method. Now, this is used in a various for various purposes, like cross-examining anything, cross-examining any viewpoint, cross-examining any finding. You can use that to write any analysis, to have a panel of experts analyzing a case. Then you can conduct a case study on, say, for example, the situation of children living in a particular state, like the state of Bihar, their educational attainment, their level of nutrition. Now we can, or their level of learning, we can do that. Okay, so it's a very detailed method and a very popular method in sociology that you will be reading a lot in the upcoming lectures is ethnography, a very important method, also known as ethnomethodology. So you are going in a culture, you are doing close observation, you are active participant in the community, like how M.N. Srinivas studied when he went to in the village in Karnataka near Mysore. Okay, so how he analyzed, how he became participant, how he studied the Kurgs, their rituals, their methods very closely, became part of them. And data is collected using chain sampling. Like you are talking, you went to a village to talk to a person A. Person is told about person B. You went to person B. Person B told about person C. And through this method, you are collecting data and knowing about the society rather than a preconceived stratification. Researcher will stay in the community for months and then they will be able to observe. Now, why a particular, if you are from Delhi and you went to, say, for example, Tamil Nadu, you went to Coimbatore, you will not be able to understand their culture, why they are behaving in a particular manner when in a particular situation, how they are talking, how they are organizing, how they are eating food, unless you become part of them. So it will take a lot of time. And you may conduct a lot of interviews. Interviews means that you are talking to the women of Coimbatore and asking about them. And then you are making a transcript kind of. Okay. Now you conducted 50 questions and transcripts you made. So I asked this question, this was the response. Then analysis leads to development of theories. All these theories that you know, dominant caste, Sanskritization, the approach of Andre Bhate, Weberian Trinitarian approach that he used or the Dipankar Gupta study, discrete caste and muddled hierarchy. All of this came through this method. Now, don't, if you are a beginner, don't become afraid of by listening to all these people. You will read them. Just understand that it is very, very important for sociological understanding. And even in anthropology, there is a great use of it. Grounded theories. So, unlike other qualitative methods, grounded theories do not rely on tapping and transcribing interviews. Data is collected from field notes, from various informal interviews, seminars, lectures, newspaper articles, conversation with friends. It's very sort of very diverse. So researcher is trying to generate concepts, then fit the data and explain what participants are doing to resolve their main concern. Okay. It's something which is not used majorly in sociology, very less. This is used a lot, ethnography. Discourse analysis. Okay. So it's like a content analysis. You are seeing a lecture or a video in which five people are talking, or a podcast, and you are trying to understand the pattern of speech, how they are talking, when they are taking a pause, how people talk about different subjects, what metaphors, what language they are using. You are analyzing their body languages as well. So analysis is largely intuitive. Okay, when they were talking about nation, but they became more enthusiastic, or if a particular person were talking about sports, were they becoming more enthusiastic? So you are analyzing, even you are analyzing the pause. The pause also says a lot. If you are taking a pause, the silence also has a value in this analysis. This is called as discourse analysis. Then we have diary writing and narrative methods. So participants are recording daily activities, what I observed, what I saw, and data collected using a longitudinal technique over a long period of time. Long period of time, you are collecting data on a different day. You may write in diary weekly or daily, or your observations. Now we are making digital diaries. So it also includes photos, videos, narratives. So written or spoken words coded to extract required data and information. So narratives are, okay, you are writing about caste, you are no, or a spoken word. It can be that as well. In the age of social media, we can have the videos as well. Interviews. So face to face interaction. That's a very popular method. All these interviews you must have seen in the TVs, in the videos, different YouTube videos. In that also we have types. One is structured interview. Questions are prepared in advance, asked serially in a fixed order. Usually in terms of conducting interviews with the political persons, you will see a highly structured interview, high powered people. You will see everything is predetermined. Questions and orders are also fixed. Unstructured, that are conducted informally, it flows freely. You're talking about subject A, then you go to B, and depending on how a respondent is answering, you are asking questions. And then it can be on telephones as well. So it saves money, limited to population which have telephone access. And then people usually don't open up a lot in telephones. They open up more in a face-to-face conversation, on a video calls, or meeting them physically. So that is something from where you can understand their values more, understand their intentions and motives more compared to the digital medium. So this is the crux: methods of data collection, secondary sources and primary sources. Secondary, we can analyze publications, census reports, client history, service client histories. Lawyers usually use it. Then primary sources, you can observe, you can interview, you can have questionnaires, you can have podcast, everything. And in that also we have the quantitative and qualitative methods. Quantitative, like questionnaires, like your surveys. Quantitative, you are trying to understand the motives, meanings, inherent meanings. So it is more time taking, it is more costly. And the person who is, like, if you send a person to conduct interview and he is only giving his opinion, he's not trained enough. So it depends on how much trained, and it requires more money, it requires more training. Compared to it, the quantitative methods are cheaper. It can be conducted with ease. It's easy to conduct that. That's the basic difference. So this is how you need to understand it. And this lecture, I hope, is helping you. If it is helping you out, please like the video, comment on it, and share these videos. Thank you very much. Take care. Best wishes.